In 1973, Class 3-3 at Yomiyama North Middle School gets caught in a terrifying, unexplainable curse. Every month, students from this class or their family members mysteriously die, as if haunted by some invisible force. The reason? It's said that a dead person has secretly joined the class, making the head count one more than it should be. But what exactly happened? Let me start from the beginning. In 1972, Class 3-3 had an exceptionally popular student named Misaki. She's beautiful, gets top grades, and is well liked by everyone. But early in the new semester, Misaki suddenly dies, shocking the whole class. Unable to accept her death, the students begin acting like Misaki is still alive. They even call her name during roll call. This strange behavior continues until graduation. The creepiest part? When they take the class photo, Misaki actually appears in the picture, as if she never died. 26 years later, in April 1998, our main character Koichi transfers to Yomiyama North's Class 3-3 because of his father's job. Due to his pneumothorax condition, he spends a month recovering in the hospital before school starts. One day, some Class 3-3 students, though Koichi hasn't officially met them yet, visit him in the hospital. While pretending to welcome the new student, they ask weird questions like, "Is this your first time in Yomi City? And have you ever lived here before?" A twin-tailed girl named Mary even shakes Koichi's hand, as if checking whether he's really new to town. That night, Koichi meets a strange girl in the hospital elevator. She has short hair, wears a white eye patch over her left eye, and carries a creepy doll. Her skin is deathly pale, and she's so quiet Koichi can't even hear her breathing. What's really unsettling is that she presses the button for the basement, the morgue. Since she's wearing the school uniform, Koichi guesses she might be his classmate and asks her name, but she doesn't answer. Koichi's mother passed away long ago, and his father works in India, so after leaving the hospital, he stays with his aunt, Reiko. On May 6th, he starts attending Class 3-3. The school seems normal at first. His homeroom teacher, Mr. Kubo, and his aunt Reiko, who also works as the assistant teacher, are both kind. Soon, Koichi notices something strange. Mei Misaki, the mysterious girl he met in the hospital elevator, is also in his class. While the other students are friendly and curious about him, they completely ignore Mei, acting like she doesn't exist. During gym class, Koichi can't exercise due to his lung condition, so he talks with the class rep, Sakura. When he asks where Mei is, Sakura hesitates, then Koichi spots Mei alone on the rooftop. Mei warns him that Class 3-3 is the closest place to death and tells him to stay away. But this only makes Koichi more curious. Soon, weird things happen. A classmate, Naoya, accidentally mentions a curse on their class. In the old library, the librarian kicks out Koichi but ignores Mei, who's sitting right there. Koichi, who loves mysteries, starts digging. He wonders if no one else can see Mei. Can he see ghosts and Mei is a ghost? He returns to the hospital and asks his nurse friend, Mizuno, if any young girl died recently. He asked Mizuno, a nurse with whom he was close. Mizuno can't remember at the moment, but the next evening, she calls to tell him that she'd looked into it. It turns out there was a death in the hospital last Monday. A girl named Misaki, or possibly Masaki, died the previous Monday. But as they talk, the call suddenly cuts off because of a bad signal. Koichi continues to investigate Mei. He follows Mei to a creepy ball-jointed doll workshop. Inside, he finds dolls that look eerily real, including one that looks exactly like Mei. When she appears behind him, he notices her green prosthetic eye under her eye patch. The shop owner had said no one else was there, so why couldn't she see Mei? Mei explains, 26 years ago, Class 3-3 pretended a dead student was still alive. Later, their graduation photos showed an extra person, named Misaki. Before she can say more, Koichi's grandmother calls, interrupting them. That feeling of being so close to the truth yet unable to grasp it keeps haunting Koichi. At school, when Koichi tries to talk to Mei Misaki again, Naoya and the class rep, Sakura, grow tense. They even call Koichi, warning him not to meddle with the non-existent student. But this slip-up proving that both the teacher and students can see Mei Misaki again. They've just been pretending they can't see her. Meanwhile, Nurse Mizuno confirms the identity of the young deceased. Her full name is Fujioka Misaki. Her last name is the same as Mei Misaki. Yet outside the classroom, Misaki tells Koichi she truly is the non-existent one, and that he's the only one who can see her. What does it all mean? The class rep, Sakura, leaves early, and spots Koichi talking to Misaki. Her face twists in terror as she turns and flees, unaware that disaster has already marked her. The sharp tip of an umbrella pierces her throat. Another student from class 3-3 dies. The news spreads like wildfire among the students. They believe it's all because of the curse. Rumors say once the curse begins, every month a student or their family member from class 3-3 will die mysteriously. Recently, Reiko has been having frequent headaches. After Koichi returns home, he tries to uncover more about the mystery surrounding the class. He asks about the class Reiko once attended and is shocked to learn that Koichi's mother was a student in class 3-3 back in 1972. Reiko herself was also in class 3-3 15 years ago. Because of her illness, Reiko is a bit confused but keeps reminding Koichi that he must follow the class rules. June arrives, but the class still hasn't recovered from Sakura's death. To protect everyone, Mary comes up with a possible way to stop the curse. But on the same day, the elevator at Yomiyama Hospital suddenly malfunctions. A part holding the steel cables breaks, causing it to crash from a high floor. This month's victim is the kind nurse Mizuno, simply because her younger brother is also in class 3-3. The constant deaths leave Koichi and his family in grief, and his grandfather, kneeling before his daughter's memorial, mutters in a daze, "I never want to attend another funeral. I never want to see this again." On June 4th, their homeroom teacher Mr. Kubo delivers unexpected news. After a class vote, Mary is officially the new class president. Mr. Kubo sternly warns Koichi that from now on, he must follow the class's special rules. The most important one? No matter what the class discusses, Koichi is completely excluded. Mr. Kubo's tone is cold, as if telling Koichi to silently accept this deliberate isolation. Koichi is confused and frustrated by this sudden rejection. But while most of the class ignores him, Jack, one of the few still willing to talk to him, steps forward. Jack strongly disagrees with Mary's harsh methods and thinks the forced isolation makes no sense. He decides to break the silence and tell Koichi everything he knows, hoping to help him understand the class's strange situation. But before Jack can finish his first sentence, tragedy strikes. His congenital heart condition flares up and he collapses on the spot. Despite being rushed to the hospital, Jack doesn't survive. His death is so sudden, it's as if some unseen force is stopping the truth from being revealed. The next day, the class atmosphere turns even stranger. Everyone acts like Koichi doesn't exist, ignoring him completely, refusing to even look at him. Even the assistant homeroom teacher, his Aunt Reiko, avoids his gaze. Koichi finally realizes he's been declared the non-existent one by the entire class, just like Mei before him. Now that he's non-existent, Koichi experiences the same treatment as Mei. No one stops him if he leaves class, no one scolds him for skipping, and no one responds when he speaks. This eerie invisible state ironically gives him more chances to get closer to Mei, and the two gradually form a deeper connection. Through Mei, Koichi learns more about her past. She's the adopted daughter of the ball-jointed doll's owner Kurika, and lost her left eye as a child, now wearing a delicate prosthetic. Even more shocking, Mei was chosen as the non-existent one back on May 1st, sacrificed to fight the curse. As Koichi digs deeper, he discovers the curse of class 3-3 isn't random. In 1972, a student named Misaki died unexpectedly, but the class couldn't accept it. They all pretended she was still alive. This intense denial seems to have triggered something supernatural, causing a dead person to secretly join class 3-3 every few years. The terrifying part? When the dead one blends in, the class count increases by 1, but everyone's memories and school records adjust automatically, making the extra person seem normal. Worse, as long as the dead one exists, class members or their relatives start dying mysteriously, one every month. Over the years, class 3-3 has tried everything to stop the curse, but nothing worked, until 10 years ago, when someone discovered an effective countermeasure. The whole class must ignore one person, treating him as non-existent. This makes the class count seem correct again, temporarily stopping the curse. But there's one deadly rule: no one can reveal the non-existent one's existence, or the curse returns. So everyone must ignore the non-existent one. That's why, when Koichi insisted on interacting with Mei, the class had no choice but to discard him too, hoping that adding another non-existent one would suppress the curse. During the days when Koichi becomes the non-existent person, his bond with Mei grows stronger. Mei reveals to him that she lost her left eye to a malignant tumor at age 4, and during the artificial eye surgery, she nearly died, experiencing a glimpse of the other side that most can't comprehend. Their shared loneliness draws them together, and they become each other's only support. They become inseparable. Koichi dozes off in class, they eat lunch together on the rooftop, sometimes skip class to talk in quiet places, and walk home together after school. Occasionally, Koichi even accompanies Mei to the art club to admire her paintings. Despite being isolated by their classmates, this unusual friendship becomes their only comfort under the shadow of the curse. One day, Koichi visits the school library with Mei. He finds the class photo of 3-3 of year 1972. There, he clearly recognizes his young mother. Mei whispers, "That elderly librarian, Tom, was your mother's homeroom teacher." It turns out Tom, now old and frail, has never left Yomiyama North Middle School. Haunted by guilt over the curse's origin, he stayed even after retiring, silently witnessing the tragedies of Class 3-3 year after year. Whenever the dead one blends into the class roster, and everyone's memories are altered. Only after graduation, when the dead one disappears, do the records return to normal. But the worst part, even the memories of the dead one eventually fade from everyone's minds. This is why the curse, which has claimed so many lives, has never been exposed to the outside world. On July 13th, the classroom atmosphere freezes. Homeroom teacher Mr. Kubo stands at the podium, pale, his eyes flickering strangely. He bows deeply, his voice hoarse and trembling. "I'm sorry, truly sorry." The next second, he suddenly pulls out a sharp knife. After a brief hesitation, Mr. Kubo loses control and slashes his own throat, severing his carotid artery from the inside. Blood sprays across the classroom. The students are paralyzed with terror. The shocking suicide quickly draws police attention. Investigators later discover something even more horrifying at Mr. Kubo's home. Though he lived alone, he had been caring for his elderly, bedridden mother, but the day before his suicide, he killed her first. Tom suspects the stress of long-term care, combined with the curse's influence, drove Mr. Kubo to this extreme breakdown. Realizing that the adding one more non-existent person method isn't stopping the curse, Mary and the others abandon the plan. Meanwhile, Koichi's investigation reveals that his mother's death 15 years ago wasn't just due to postpartum illness. It was tied to the curse, because his Aunt Reiko was in Class 3-3 that year. Even more surprising, that year, the curse suddenly stopped midway, the only exception in its 25-year history. Koichi notices that on August 8 years ago, Class 3-3 held a school trip that might have accidentally stopped the curse. After consulting with Tom, the teacher decides to organize a similar 3-day trip this year on the same date, hoping to repeat history. But on July 17th, after the trip is planned, Koichi has a disturbing dream. He sees all his classmates dead, everyone searching for the dead one, and worst of all, he realizes the dead one is himself. He wakes up startled when his father calls to ask, "How does it feel to be back in Yomiyama after a year and a half?" This confuses Koichi because he's certain he's never been to Yomiyama before. The call cuts off with static, leaving Koichi full of questions. The next day, Koichi's classmate Naoya gathers Koichi, Mary and Sam at a cafe. While waiting, Mary shakes Koichi's hand again. She keeps feeling they've met before, which makes her strangely drawn to him. Sam's sister who works there mentions a regular customer Max, a Class 3-3 graduate from 15 years ago. When drunk, Max once claimed, "I was the one who stopped the calamity," insisting, "I did nothing wrong, I saved everyone," and mentioned leaving something behind. Luckily, Reiko happens to be Max's classmate. With her help, they track him down working at a hotel outside Yomiyama. Since the curse weakens with distance from town, everyone except Koichi changes into swimsuits and enjoys rare moments of fun at the beach. Naoya even organizes team games, creating happy memories for the long-suffering class. Hours later, Max arrives. When Reiko asks about the 1983 trip, his memories are as fuzzy as hers due to the curse. He only vaguely recalls bringing something important to school after that trip. Suddenly, a strong wind blows their beach ball into the ocean. Classmate John volunteers to retrieve it but loses consciousness halfway. Horrifically, a speeding boat runs over him. When Koichi reaches John, he's already dead. This shocking scene triggers fragments of Max's memory. He unconsciously mentions hiding something in the classroom. Later, the coroner reveals John had actually died before the boat hit him from an earlier head injury at home, more proof of the curse. Next day, Koichi shares Max's clue with Naoya and Sam. They deduce it must be in the old school building's Class 3-3 room. Mei notices their movements and leads them into the forbidden old school building. After searching, they find a dusty metal case taped to a cabinet with a note. For future Class 3 to 3 students suffering from the calamity. Inside is an audio tape of Max's confession. During their 1983 trip, after visiting a shrine failed to stop deaths, he fought with a student in the woods. The student got impaled on a branch and died, but afterward no one remembered that student existed. The body disappeared too. Max realized he'd accidentally killed the dead one, who had blended into their class. When they play the tape, strange noises outside make them hide from the janitor, but Naoya accidentally damages the tape. Sam volunteers to fix it. On August 8th, the class goes on their trip to a donated retreat. After settling in, Sam plays the repaired tape where Max confirms killing the dead one was the only way to stop the curse. Now the four face an impossible choice even if they identify the dead one. Could they really kill their own classmate? During dinner, Mary suddenly blames Mei, saying she's the cause of the calamity and demands she apologize to the class. When Naoya almost reveals the secret about the cassette tape, another student has an asthma attack. To make matters worse, the phone signals have been down since yesterday. No calls can get through to call an ambulance. With no other choice, Tom drives the sick student to the hospital overnight. Later, Mei asks Koichi to show her his mother's 26-year-old graduation photo. As they talk in the room, Koichi learns the truth. That night they first met at the hospital, Mei was visiting the morgue to deliver a doll to her late twin sister Fujioka Misaki. Here's the secret: no one knew Fujioka Misaki was actually Mei's twin sister. This goes back to their childhood. Mei's birth mother Mitsuyo gave her away at age 1 to be raised by her aunt Karika, who had just lost her own daughter. It helped both sisters. Karika got a child. Mitsuyo had one less mouth to feed. Karika gave Mei a privileged life but forbade contact with her birth family, terrified Mei might leave her. But Mei secretly met with her sister Fujioka Misaki, and the sisters grew close. Then last April, Fujioka Misaki suddenly developed strange colors and died. This proves the calamity actually started in April. It wasn't caused by Koichi's transfer or breaking the non-existent person rule. Mei removes her eye patch through her special prosthetic eye. She can see death colors on people. She spots these colors on her sister Fujioka Misaki before she died. When she looks at the class photo of Class 3 to 3 from 26 years ago, she can easily tell who the long-deceased Misaki was. She says maybe because her illness once brought her close to death, her prosthetic eye lets her see a special color around dead people, whether in photos or real life. Just as Mei is about to reveal who this year's dead one is, Naoya bursts in screaming he might have killed someone. Meanwhile, Mary's friend Takako makes a shocking discovery. She remembers a girl in elementary school who looked exactly like Mei but had both eyes intact. Not knowing about Mei's twin sister, they think Mei's missing eye proves she's the dead one, who resurrected incompletely. This paranoia spreads. Naoya becomes convinced class rep Kazami is the dead one, and during a fight accidentally pushes him off the second-floor balcony. Following Koichi's suggestion, they go check on Kazami, only to discover the kitchen's on fire and the caretaker brutally murdered. Then Takako's screams echo from upstairs. When Koichi arrives, he only finds a blood-stained bed, with both Kazami and Takako mysteriously gone. Actually, Kazami survived the fall. Injured and furious, he confronts Sam about Naoya being suspicious, forcing Sam to reveal the curse tape's secret. During the chaos, someone takes the crucial cassette tape. When Sam and Naoya go to warn Seiko about the fire, they find her missing. Following blood trails, they discover the caretaker's wife started the fire. She is actually Jack's grandmother. After Jack died of a heart attack, she became mentally unbalanced. The unlucky Sam and Naoya became the targets of her pursuit. In the process, Naoya's leg was cut by a knife and he couldn't move. Then Takako hijacks the PA system. She's the one who took the tape. Playing it over the speakers, she rants about how Mei lied about losing her eye at age 4, claiming this proves Mei's the dead one, resurrected incompletely. Her words give classmates the justification they need to take drastic action. At this critical moment, Reiko, the only adult present, steps forward and shouts to stop the students' dangerous actions. In this life-or-death situation, everyone has lost their rationality. After Reiko collapses, Koichi becomes the only one who can protect Mei. They desperately run for their lives from the hallway to a room, then to the balcony. Meanwhile, Sam drags the injured Naoya while being chased by the crazed caretaker. During the escape, Koichi gets stabbed by Takako, but just as he thinks he's going to die, Takako accidentally gets tangled in wires and hangs herself. When Mary arrives and sees this, she mistakenly thinks Mei killed Takako with a weapon and angrily swears to kill Mei for revenge. The fire grows stronger, with explosions rocking the building. Only then do the students realize they must escape immediately, but fate seems to mock them. Most encounter obstacles during their escape. The most dangerous situation is Sam and Naoya being chased by the caretaker, until Tom arrives just in time to save them. The fire separates Koichi and Mei. In the chaos, Koichi has a shocking reunion with Kazami, who's been missing. Kazami has gone completely insane, attacking anyone he sees while believing they might be the dead one. When knife-wielding Kazami attacks Koichi, Mary appears and saves him. But Mary remains determined to kill Mei, convinced this will save everyone. As the three struggle violently, lightning strikes and shatters a huge glass window. In that moment, Mary suddenly remembers meeting Koichi a year and a half ago in Yomiyama when he helped her up after she fell on the grass. Both had recently lost loved ones. Ultimately, Mary collapses in a pool of blood. Mei realizes more people will die unless they quickly identify and stop the dead one. She finally confronts this year's dead one, their assistant teacher, who is also Koichi's Aunt Reiko. As memories return, Mei remembers witnessing Reiko's death a year and a half ago. She was stabbed by a serial killer and fell into the river. Koichi finally understands why his depressed grandfather kept saying he didn't want to attend more funerals, why his father and Mary insisted he'd visited Yomiyama before because he actually came for Reiko's funeral. In the end, Koichi tearfully ends Reiko's life himself, with the dead one returning to death. This year's calamity finally stops. Soon after, all students forget everything about Reiko. Her image mysteriously disappears from class photos, as if she never existed. In the final scene, Naoya and Sam make CDs of Max's recordings for future Class 3-3 students. The terrible curse continues to this day. This anime, Another, tells a suspenseful horror story about curses, death and memory. The story happens in Class 3-3 of Yomiyama North Middle School, cursed since 26 years ago, when popular student Misaki died, but the class pretended she was still alive, even saving her seat at graduation. This well-meaning act triggered an irreversible curse where each year, Class 3-3 would have one extra dead student mixed in. Nobody can identify the dead one, because memories and records automatically adjust to make their presence seem normal. Worse, the curse causes monthly mysterious deaths until class numbers return to normal. In 1998, transfer student Koichi and Mei investigate and discover Koichi's aunt is the dead one. After chaotic events where the aunt dies, the curse pauses, but not before claiming many lives. The ending hints the curse isn't truly over, leaving future Class 3-3 students vulnerable to repeat the tragedy. Through suspense and deaths, the story explores unreliable memory, dangers of group behavior, and different attitudes toward death. I hope you're not in Class 3-3, otherwise you might keep thinking about this story.